Uh, Good evening. Welcome back to the class of user interface design. So basically we are discussing about the requirement determination methods. So yesterday we discussed the direct methods where there is a direct communication between the user and the developer. In indirect methods there is no direct communications. Okay, so an indirect method of requirement determination is one that places an intermediary between the developer and the user. So this intermediary can be anything. It can be a mail, it can be another person, or it can be okay, there are indirect methods, so we will be discussing one by one. So let us understand some disadvantages of indirect methods. The first one is there may be a filtering or distortion of the message, either intentional or unintentional. Okay, so instead of you, someone else has gone to collect the requirements. So the way he may interpret the requirements may be different than what exactly the users interests. The users want something else, and this intermediary person understood it something, and he conveyed you in a totally different manner. So the whole scenario is messed up here. So the next is the intermediary. Uh, the second problem is the intermediary may not possess a complete or current or understanding of users' needs, passing on an incomplete or incorrect message. So that's what I just explained you now. Finally, the intermediary may be a mechanism that discourages direct user-developer contact for political reasons. So there may be some other political reasons, and because of that this intermediary person doesn't want to actually doesn't want the communication between the user and the developer. So there may be many reasons like this. So these are some of the disadvantages associated with indirect methods. So let us discuss one by one. The first one is MIS intermediary. MIS stands for Management Information System. That's what I have already told you yesterday. A company representative who defines a user's goal and needs to designers and developers fulfill this intermediary role. Okay, here a company representative himself defines the user goals on behalf of the users. This person himself defines the user goals and the needs of the users to designers and developers fulfill these goals. Okay, so that is what is MIS intermediary. Then if you ask me how come this company representative can play the role of a user, because this company representative may have so much of experience dealing with the similar sort of projects, or he might have handled so many different projects similar sort of projects, and something like that. So the next one is paper survey or questionnaire. We already know this. Questionnaire or survey can be distributed among the users and get the response, and based on the response try to understand the needs of the users. So the next one is, this one is a paper survey, and next one is electronic survey. So electronics are okay, that is a paper, and this is online or e-survey, similar one. Yeah, so electronic focus group, similar. An electronic focus group is similar to a traditional focus group, except that the discussion is accomplished electronically using specialized software on a workstation or email or a website. So these days we are using so many apps like Google Hangouts, Zoom, so there are Skype, so there are many platforms, online platforms are available to call all the users and make a forum, then have a discussion. Okay, The next one is marketing sales. So there are many sales representatives who will be traveling across the world, across the companies, and they can visit the company of the actual users, try to understand their requirements, their needs, their suggestions, and same can be conveyed to the developers. Okay, so the next one is support line. So information is collected by the unit that helps customers with day-to-day problems. Okay, for example, customer support representatives, technical support, help desk, and so on. So if so many customers are asking for something, a particular question, okay, then you can easily understand that the customers may be facing something pertaining to only that area or only that particular point. Okay, so then you may try to understand what is exactly their problem. So the next one is you can collect the users requirements through email or bulletin boards or guest book, something like that. Then you can create a user group and ask the user to have a discussion among themselves, then try to analyze their discussion. Then based on their discussion you can generate the requirements. Then competitor analysis. Okay, go to some other competitors websites, try to understand what exactly they have developed and how exactly they are catering the users, and based on this analysis you can come up with your own user interface. Then trade show, yesterday I was talking about. So many of the world's biggest vehicle or car manufacturers or motor manufacturers have shows across the world. Okay, in India, Delhi is very famous. So they display the prototypes there, and thousands or millions of people visit there, try to understand their next designs, and you are try to understand what exactly the users want. Then other media analysis. Okay, analyze how other media, print or broadcast present the process information. So if something you have developed very interesting stuff, then definitely the media talks about it. So many websites may talk about that. Okay, then requirement collection guidelines. So there are separate guidelines for collecting the requirements. Again, Keel and Carmel evaluated the suitability and effectiveness of various requirement gathering methods by collecting data on 28 projects in 17 different companies. And among these 28 projects, 14 projects were rated relatively successful and 14 as relatively unsuccessful. So the reason they have explained here, each requirement collection method was defined as a developer user link. So understand, each requirements collection method, we have discussed so many requirement collection method here now. So each one of them can be defined as a developer user link. Okay, so establish 4 to 6 different developer user links. So what is the important point here is you do not depend only on one particular collection method. Okay, don't only depend. So you collect the informations through email, then you conduct the direct interviews, then you conduct the focus groups, then you conduct questionnaires. So like that you try to collect the information or collect the requirements through various developer user links. Okay, the more successful projects had utilized greater number of developer user links. Okay, that is, they have utilized more number of requirements collection method. So the mean number of links for the successful projects is 5.4 and the less is 3.2. Means 5.4 means they have utilized around 5.4 types of requirement collection methods. The successful out of 28 projects, 14 were successful and 14 were relatively not successful. So effectiveness ratings of the most commonly used links in their studies were also obtained. So here you can see 1 is ineffective and 5 is very effective. So the following methods, on a 1 to 5 scale, the following methods had the highest ratings. So the first highest rating was got for facilitated teams. Okay, the second one was user interface prototype. So facilitated teams means what is the meaning of facilitated teams? The people who actually conducted the requirement collection, okay, process. So the second one is, the second highest rating was given to user interface prototype. The third one was requirement prototype, and finally the 3.5 for interviews. It is for custom projects in the sense the software developed for internal use and usually not for sale. So if it is a packaged products, that is software developed for external use and usually for sale, highest feedback or rating was given for support lines. Okay, support lines in the sense the customers so if at all whatever doubts the customers get, they call to the customer care. That is what is customer line. The next one is interviews, then next is user interface prototypes, then finally user groups. So from in the next class we'll continue with determining basic business functions. So thank you very much for listening to